What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we are going to be installing an oil catch can on the RTR Spec 2. So we just got this box in from Amazon. It cost me like $12. Normally it's like 24 and some change, but I had like a $20 credit in there from my Amazon credit card. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got inside. Now I know that these things typically cost like $100, $180 depending on where you get it from, whether it's Mishimoto, JLT or whatnot. But I wanted to try something a little bit cheaper. I watched with a lot of reviews, and I watched, I think it was Engineering Explained that talked about these. And I feel like this one kind of handles what I want to do with it. So it comes in a generic black box here, so there's nothing fancy about it, no fancy anything actually. But I guess that's what you get when you pay $12 or something. Inside our box, we have our oil catch can right here. It doesn't look too bad. It looks like your basic. I mean, it's got the in, the out. One thing I do like on here is it's got a little dipstick that will twist off here and pull out. So that way you can be able to check your levels on the inside without having to open this up all the time. So that's not too bad. When we go ahead and, oh, that noise. When we go ahead and open it up on the inside, we check out. We have a baffle here. The pictures, I thought there was some cork that came with this that would sit in here, or maybe a different baffle that's set farther away, because I know that that's supposed to be a little bit better. That did not come with it, but I'm not really worried too much about that. When we look on the thing, it's fairly decent quality. I don't see anything here on the outside that looks really bad. Now when we look at the actual can, if you guys can see, yeah, oh wait, nope, yep, there you go. There's a section of it in the corner that's not fully painted. I don't know what that's about. I would assume these things are mass produced, fairly cheap, and there's not a lot of quality control that goes into these, so that would be that. We also get our steel wool. This goes down into this. The reason being is that it helps keep a lot more of the water and the liquids and whatnot, whatever you're going to get the oil blow by, in the bottom of this. We also have in here our different fitments. We got quite a few different options in here. I would assume that all of this has to do with depending on what size hose that you decide to use. They all fit into this same section here. It's just the ends are a little bit different. You also have your clamps right here for your hoses, and then a couple of bolts and nuts here to mount this thing in place wherever you choose to mount it. The hose here is fairly cheap. It's kind of flimsy. It looks like what you'd probably get from AutoZone if you cut it by the foot, and it looks like there's probably about 2 feet of it here. And then also we have, ooh, this is kind of busted. This looks like some Teflon tape here to wrap around our bits right here for when we tighten this down here. So what we need to do now before we go ahead and do anything else with this is check out in the car and see where we're going to mount it. So as we're looking around here, this is where it's going to be attaching here and then down in here. So we need to find a place relatively close in this area to mount it. This thing is actually kind of big, not in comparison to some of the others, but in trying to find a place to mount this thing, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of really good decisions. So I'm going to look around here and see what we can figure out. I think I found my spot. I think I'm going to mount it right here behind the reservoir. The reason being is because I don't want to route too much line all over this car. It's pretty close. I can probably split this, work it in here. I don't know yet whether I'm going to make a bracket that loops around here and mounts here, or if I'm just going to remove up top and make a bracket that goes around. Either way, I'm going to make something that goes around the top of here and sits down in there for this. It should work. I checked it. You can unscrew that and everything will work. So let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. So I'm going to change up my plan. I found this bracket here that is actually a fence bracket. I'm going to actually attach it down in here. I'm gonna have to probably change the bend a little bit, but then we'll put it there, mount this here. Should be good, puts us a little bit closer. We'll see how it turns out. I removed this bracket that sits underneath the fuse box, and I trimmed up a little bit so it could clear this. So what I'm gonna do now is just pop some holes in here, and then also where this mounts up here on the fuse box so I can run in and attach this. Then we're gonna spray paint this satin black so it doesn't stand out, and then get it ready to mount up to our oil catch can. Once again, I was being a horrible YouTuber and I didn't film any of the stuff that I've been doing, but we have it mounted right here. I think it looks kind of nice once everything's in place. It'll kind of blend in there fairly good. It's kind of out of the way with anything I'm going to need to do, except for, I guess, when I go to take off the VVT sensors next week. But besides that, everything's in here held in place very good. We don't have to worry about anything. I went to use this medium-sized, well, actually, it was the smallest size hose connector, because that's the type of hose that came with it. But if you look at this stuff, it's pretty flimsy. Just sitting here under its own weight, you can see that it's creating a crimp. So anytime I tried to move it along this bend, it created a crimp right there. So what I did was I went ahead and took some hose off of, I believe this was a carbon canister previously. Started chopping that up. That was from the old drift car, and I put it on the largest bung that they had here, put that in place, attached it to the stock connectors that went here, cut the old hose off, and it seems to be working pretty good. So now we need to measure out this piece here, get it in place, and this should be buttoned up and done. So like I said, I have it bolted in down here. I went ahead and I repurposed these connectors right here. Used some hose that I had from the old drift car, which went to the carbon canister. Right now, this one is held on with a zip tie. It's not exactly the best hold, but this thing isn't really gonna move anywhere. So I'm gonna have to get to AutoZone, get another one of these, because any of them that I have left are way too big. I'll be able to trim these things down. Maybe, I don't know if I'll spray them or not. They do kind of stick out bad, but I think once the cover is over, it probably won't stick out as bad. I don't know, we can go and grab it. I can't find the cover, but trust me, I'm sure it's all gonna look much better once the cover is on there, because I know over here, it comes out all the way to this groove that I have cut out. So over here, it should come to about here. So it should cover up most of that junk right there. So that won't be too bad. I like it. I think we did a good job.
A few moments later.
I found the cover. We put it on. It's over the top of the support brace, but you can kind of see how it's going to sit, and it will cover the majority of what is the catch can. So any of this stuff here, I don't really have to worry about painting because it will be covered. To treat ourselves, I say we go out and have a little bit of fun having. All right, let's do this. Okay. Make sure. Yes, you. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I didn't see that coming. Why am I not in focus? Okay. So you don't miss your spot on this. We gotta go back. I started laughing too much. It's too much fun. Okay. You're gonna not want to miss it. All right, that's it.
Oh, it's recording again.
Is it? Let's make sure that I did hit record previously. We did. This is beyond hilarious.
It's on my toes. It's in my hair. It was in my mouth. I can really blend in with things.
We were doing a little bit of filming for a side project that I got going on that you guys will see shortly, but Gabby got the worst end of the F-150 RTR going through the mud puddles.
It hurt when it hit me.
It hurt going through that puddle. I hit that thing so hard, I would be very surprised if in the video I didn't get air, because it was two sharp drops right in a row. And
I saw it coming because it was so fast. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I just closed my eyes because I knew it was coming at me. I knew it was coming. I just closed my eyes. And I was like, just hold the camera. Hold it level. Hold the camera.
That was so much fun. Okay, so we got the F-150 all cleaned up. The RTR is back in the garage. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Always make sure to give us a like. so that we know that you're enjoying the content that we're putting out. Until next video when we're doing the VBTs, peace.